Hey guys, how's it going? So today I have already done my eyes and my brows, but I am wanting to try out a new foundation for you. It's another one that I just picked up a little tester of from Mecca. It's the Ilia True Skin Serum Foundation in shade 2. According to the Ilia Beauty website, True Skin Serum Foundation is a complexion perfecting serum infused foundation that's equal parts skincare and colour correction. Weightlessly delivers buildable medium coverage with a silky finish, while nourishing with a powerful blend of botanical actives that leave the skin looking like skin. Aloe leaf, rosehip, jojoba and marula oils soothe irritations, tame redness, plump fine lines and ensure the formula effortlessly melts into your skin for a more even luminous appearance. Blurs imperfections and minimizes pores for a complexion that looks refined and refreshed. It is also vegan. In US dollars, it's $54 and in New Zealand, it is $86 from Mecca. So it's up there as far as cost goes, but being vegan and being skincare, I'm definitely not adverse to that. This also came from the day that I went in and one of the ladies tried some foundations on me and like nothing was sitting on me well, so I just grabbed some testers to try out myself. I will link down below the last one I did, which was the Hourglass Illusion, which just did not work on my skin, so I won't be purchasing that. So I've already applied all of my moisturizer. As you can see, I've done my eyes and my brows. So I have just popped a little bit of the Hydro Flash under my eyes when I did my eyes. I am going to use the Veil Mineral Primer because I feel like I'm having a really good skin day and I'm quite hydrated. So I want to keep as much of that hydration in my skin as possible. And the Veil Hourglass Primer is great for that because it has got silica in it. Oh, it's always so hard getting around your brows after they've been done. So while I wait for that to set down, I'm just going to pop the Colourpop Lippie stick on, which is the primer. Now I've definitely changed my mind about this. As long as you don't put on too much and you don't let it set too much, it's fantastic. I still don't find it works as well with the Colourpop liquid lipsticks, but it works really well under any of my normal lipsticks. Especially anything that's quite a drier formula, it gives me a really smooth lip to apply over. Now also because I have applied so much hydrating products today and recently, I am going to take the Ilia Fade Into You on my MAC 236 and just pop that very lightly around my nostrils and over the tip of my nose where I tend to get a little bit oily. Now that's dried down to a slightly tackier finish. So we will take the serum. I am just going to dot it on with my finger on one side and buff it in with the Exo Beauty Flat Face Brush. Now it's a very liquidy serum. It's not supposed to be super high coverage, but let's see what we can do with it. So for a single layer, it's actually better coverage than I was expecting it to be. It's just smoothed my skin tone out. You can still see a little bit of my redness and some of my imperfections coming through, but it is a lot better than I thought it would be. So for the other side, I am just going to dot it on my face and then go over it with a beauty blender. So I feel like it's given me a much better finish on the side with the beauty blender than the side with the brush. So I am just going to go over the side I did with the brush with my beauty blender. Now that's a single layer. I can definitely still see a lot coming through my cheeks, so it is a sheer coverage, but let's see if we can build it up to something a little bit fuller. So I'm just going to take my Beauty Blender straight into the product now and see how it applies this in this manner. So I feel like the further I work this product, the better it's looking. I am just going to go in with my Nars Radiant Creamy Concealer under my eyes and to highlight my face. Now I'm just going to pat this in with my MAC 237 before I go over it with the Beauty Blender, because I don't want to get it up on my eye makeup. And now I'm just going to go over that with my Beauty Blender. And I'll just go up under my eyes with my finger, just to get it in as close to my eye makeup as possible without getting it on my eye makeup. Now I'm just going to spray my face with MAC Fix Plus and go back over it with the Beauty Blender straight away. It just helps to remove any fine lines and settling that come from the dehydration. Right, now I am just going to take my MAC 168 into the Ilia Soft Focus Finishing Powder and just press that under my eyes to set that concealer. I'm just going to take the Ilia powder around my nose as well. Because I am wanting to get some slightly fuller coverage around my cheeks, I am going to take the Stila Illuminating powder in 30 watts on my MAC 135 and just very lightly press this into my skin. Now I'm just going to take the powder on my Beauty Blender and press that across my jaw here where I tend to get very red and I've got a lot of pigmentation and blemishes showing through, and that just helps to build the coverage up slightly. Right, now to avoid any of that looking powdery, I'm just going to spray it again with Fix Plus and go over it with my Beauty Blender, pressing it in. Now I'll just zoom you in so you can have a look at that finish. Now I haven't got a complete full coverage look out of this, but it is a serum, so I wasn't really expecting that. I have to say, so far, I think this finish is absolutely gorgeous. Like, it's very, very skin-like. It's set into my skin really nicely. It's not looking powdery. It's not showing up too much skin texture. I have got a couple of little breakouts up in my forehead that I can still see at a very close range in the mirror, but I think this is a really beautiful foundation. And I mean, as you can see from a distance, like, I still look very, very flawless, and I'm not about that super full coverage where none of your skin comes through. I just want to get that sort of, this is me but better look. So now that that has dried and set down, I am going to apply my bronzer, my blush and my highlight. Now for lipstick, I'm actually going to be wearing the MAC Velvetease lip pencil in Promise Me. This is my favorite super light nude on myself. I really struggle to find one that doesn't make me look super washed out. I think it's because it's got such a peachy base. And I am also just going to spray on the Urban Decay All Nighter Setting Spray to give it a fair chance against my other foundations. Right, I'm really happy with that. I mean, you can see it looks beautiful. I'm going to see how this wears throughout the day, and I'll pop back in and let you know. But I am really happy with it as a foundation. It's probably not something that I'd reach for to go out in the evening, but this would be my go-to for every day in winter as long as it stays looking like this. It just feels so lovely on the skin. It feels so hydrating and refreshing. It's just not quite as full coverage as I'd like, but I really like the semi-dewy finish and how it sits on my skin. Hey guys, so I've been wearing this foundation for about 5.5 hours now. And I am really happy with it. It's looking just as good as when I put it on. It has not gone particularly powdery anywhere. Just around my nose and under my eyes, which is pretty common for me. And also not the foundation. Under my eyes is to do with the concealer. It's looking just perfect. I'm really happy with it. So I'm probably going to pick this up, but let's just zoom you in. It hasn't accentuated any of my fine lines or any of my blemishes. It's not doing a lot to hide them either. I'm trying to find some faults with this and I'm struggling. This is beautiful. Like it's kept my skin looking dewy and hydrated. It hasn't gone super powdery like a lot of foundations do. I mean, using my powders over it has built the coverage up beautifully. I would say it builds to a very light medium coverage. I'm definitely getting a medium coverage with it when I have got my powder on it, which obviously builds the coverage up. My skin is definitely looking more even and luminous and looks like skin. It looks refined and refreshed. I would have to say that on me, I am not noticing that it's plumped my fine lines. It's evened out my skin tone, but it hasn't blurred my imperfections. It hasn't enhanced either of them either. I really like that it's equal parts skincare and color correction. Anything that is part skincare, I feel a lot happier about putting on my skin. The biggest downside, I would say, is that this foundation appears to only come in 10 shades. Slightly paler than me is where it starts because I am the second shade in, and the darkest shades are not very dark. They're more of a golden color rather than, and there's really only one that sits up there in that sort of very golden color. But if you do like a foundation that is good for your skin, natural, vegan, and you're happy to have that slightly less coverage, or do what I've done and build the coverage up where you need it using powder afterwards, then I would definitely recommend this foundation. I think it's beautiful. For those of you that are wondering about my eye makeup look today, I am wearing Colourpop eyeshadows and XO, the Prima Donna lashes attached underneath my lashes for a slightly more natural look. If you're interested in seeing how I do this, because it is actually the only way I really like to wear my lashes now, so if you're interested in seeing how I do this, just leave me a little comment and I will put together a video of me putting on my lashes and how I do it.